Hi, we're going to talk today to astrologers among you, or those who are interested in astrology, about Lilith. Lilith, sometimes called the black moon, its symbol is a black filled-in moon with a cross underneath. Some people say the black moon Lilith, but for me, for simplification, I call it Lilith. It's some kind of asteroid or planetoid or something out there in space with a fairly eccentric orbit, but it has quite a profound effect on the chart. Now, because Lilith was a biblical character who liked her own way, some astrologers take it to mean women's empowerment or strong women or something, and maybe that is so. I won't argue with that. But what I've found, and I've been looking at Lilith a lot over the last year or so under a number of charts, is that it does bring things to a head, and it can be quite depressing too. In a way, it's a bit like an eclipse, that it passes a sensitive point and brings something out into the open and into a head. The good news is that Lilith has got quite a fast orbit, similar to that of perhaps Mars, or even quicker than that, which means that it doesn't stay in a particular point for too long. So if it does make you really fed up or do a bit of damage, it moves on. Now I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples here. One is of a friend of mine, we're going to call him Dave, who's Scorpio. His sun sign's right at the very end of Scorpio, almost at Sagittarius. But he had a whole lot of planets, a real stellium of planets in Scorpio. And over the last couple of years, Lilith has gone by, going across one after another of these planets. And it's caused him any amount of trouble in his life. He's obviously on one of those complete turning points where a lot of things are collapsing down and other things will have to start. Doors are closing, other doors will have to open. Another friend of mine, I don't only look at friends, by the way, I look at all kinds of charts when I'm researching, but these people have given me permission to tell their story. This lady, she's a beautiful lady, we're going to call her Diana, and Lilith crossed her sun recently, and as it was crossing her marriage, which has not been good for some time, and not her fault either, but she suddenly discovered that her husband was talking to some other lady in Canada actually, and asking this lady to come and live with them, so to be a wife or a girlfriend in the house along with Diana and also one of their kids as well. Well, you can imagine Diana was not best pleased at that, and I'm afraid the Lilith, the powerful woman, rose up and gave her husband what for and why, and that marriage has come to a fairly swift end, which it needed to. But that's not necessarily as dramatic as that, but go and watch Lilith. If you have solar fire, you can call up Lilith and put it on your chart and see what's happening, because I don't think it's terribly good news. Having said that, transiting Lilith at the moment is trine to my North Node. So is something nice going on in my home? Don't know. I better go home and find out, hadn't I? Maybe we'll have a nice dinner tonight.